All right, thanks, guys. The Nuggets take on the Nets. That's going to be a 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Brooklyn. The Nets are laying 3.5, totals at 233 and a hook. Right now, Denver ranks first in defensive rebounding in the association. They also rank sixth in points allowed. Now, Brooklyn on their side of things, well, they rank 23rd in home points allowed. They've also failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 matchups. Now, Brooklyn's pretty banged up right now. They have Dudley, Dinwiddie, and LeVert all out for tonight's action. They also have Crabbe and Harris questionable for tonight's game as well. When it comes to the scoring, both teams are 60% to the under in their last 5 respectively. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point. I'm going to go ahead and buy it up and take the Denver Nuggets +4 and the under 233.5 in that matchup there. And before we go ahead and move on, I just want to take a quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Wednesday's NBA and college basketball action. It's Wednesday, it's hump day already. We're almost at the weekend. Time certainly flies by. But anyway, before we go ahead and move on, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And once again, with a documented win percentage of 60% for the entire year of 2017, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed to that website. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well, including my current record. So you want to check that out right now because my current record has been remarkable in many different categories. That's a part of the free content. That'll pop up right away. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser, and all you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Wizards, Bucks, 8 o'clock tip-off in Milwaukee. Now, the Bucks open the betting as the 12.5-point favorite, the total at 231. And since this one opened up, we're seeing a slight fade of Milwaukee when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. Right now, the Bucks are laying 12 with the total moving downward to 230. So once again, the Bucks open 12.5 down to -12. Total open 231 down to 230 even. 66% are leaning Milwaukee, 51% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Wizards are +650 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Wizards in this one, it's going to be a tough one for you, despite catching double digits, because they're taking on a Milwaukee team who ranks first in offensive rebounding, first in defensive field goal percentage, and first in home offensive scoring. Now, Washington, on their side of things, they rank 28th in offensive rebounding and 29th in points allowed. They're also 7-19 against the spread away from home this season. Now, when it comes to the total, Milwaukee's 71% to the under in their last 7. So with all that in mind, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Milwaukee -12 and the under 230 in that matchup there. Next game, Pels, Bulls, 8 o'clock tip-off in Chicago. Now, Chicago ranks 29th in scoring, 26th in offensive rebounding, and 28th in home offensive rebounding. Chicago's just 12-41 straight up overall for the year, 5-20 straight up at home, and they failed to cover in their last 5 games on their home court. Chicago has Parker and Arcidiacono questionable for tonight's action. Meanwhile, the Pelicans have Moore, Davis, and Payton all out for tonight's action. Randall and Mirotic are questionable. So with all that in mind, there's actually no line for this game right now. No line. That line should be released at around 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But once again, no line for this particular game. But if I had to lean toward a side and just pick straight up, I still got to give it to New Orleans. I think New Orleans will win this one outright in the Windy City tonight. All right, next game, Hornets at the Mavericks, 8:30 Eastern, tip-off in Dallas. The Mavs open the betting -4.5, total open 215 and a hook. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a good bit of two-way action when it comes to the spread. I still have Dallas at 4.5, but we are seeing movement upward on the total. And as a matter of fact, that moved a whole point upward in regards to the over-under, where that's right now at 216.5. So once again, Dallas opened and remains -4.5. Total open 215.5, up to 216 and a hook. 75% are leaning toward Dallas, and at the moment, Charlotte's plus 175 on the money line. Now, if you excuse me, if you like Charlotte catching the points on the road, just keep in mind they're taking on a Dallas team who's just been incredible on their home court. As a matter of fact, the Mavs are 18-7 against the number at home. They're also a perfect 7-0 against the spread in their last 7. Now, Charlotte ranks 27th in road field goal percentage, 26th in road defensive rebounding, and they're just 7-18 straight up on the road themselves. Now, scoring-wise, Charlotte is 11-5 to the over in their last 16 when traveling. This Dallas offense puts up 112 points per contest on their home court. Give me Dallas -4 after buying the half a point in the over 216.5 in that matchup there. Next game I have for you, it is going to be Suns at the Jazz, 9 o'clock tip-off in Utah. The Jazz opened the betting as the 15-point favorite and the total at 221. Since this one opened up, we're seeing a steady fade of Utah in the early going here. Incredibly large number there. No movement on the total as of yet. Right now, the Jazz are -14. Total remains at 221. Once again, Utah opened 15 down to -14. Total open and remains at 221. 51% are leaning Phoenix, 67% shaded toward the under in that matchup there. Now, Utah's 10-3 straight up in their last 13, 9-2 straight up in their last 11 at home. Phoenix, on their side of things, ranked dead last in road points allowed. They're also just 7-21 straight up when traveling. And when it comes to the total, Phoenix is 80% to the over in their last 5 when traveling. Utah 5-1 to the over in their last 6. Give me the Jazz -14 and the over 221 in that matchup there. Next game, Rockets-Kings. 10 o'clock tip-off in Sacramento. Now, this might be a better game than we suspected. Houston opened the betting as the 2-point favorite and the total at 233. And since those markets opened that one up, we are seeing Houston take a little money in the early going here. We're also seeing movement upward on the total as well. The Rockets are now -2.5 with the total moving upward to 233 and a hook. So once again, Houston open 2 up to -2.5. Total open 233 up to 233 and a hook. 67% are leaning Utah, 74% shaded toward the over. Now, Sacramento has successfully covered the number in 4 out of their last 5. They're also 20-7 against the number on their home court. Now, Houston ranks 27th in offensive rebounding, and they failed to cover in 6 out of their last 7 on the road. Now, scoring-wise, we're looking at Sacramento, who's 80% to the under in their last 10, 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward the home dog in this matchup here. Give me Sacramento +3 after buying the half a point and the under 233.5 in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be San Antonio at Golden State, 10:30 tip-off at the Bay Area. The Warriors are -11, totals 233. 68% are leaning Golden State, 60% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Spurs are +520 on the money line. Now, the Spurs rank 2nd in field goal percentage, 1st in three-point percentage, and 1st from the stripe. They're also 5-1 straight up in their last 6. They're covering 80% of their games in their last 5 on the road. Meanwhile, Golden State, they're just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 at home, and they rank 20th in points allowed. Here's the caveat. LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan are both ruled out tonight for San Antonio. Now, we don't know what the explanation is. It could be rest, aggressive rest phase, or whatever they're calling it, or an illness. But regardless, I think this is a big FU by Popovich to have a big game on a Wednesday night and bench his top guys. So once again, San Antonio, LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan are both out for the Spurs tonight. So all those stats I just ripped off to you really don't matter because the top dogs are not playing. Meanwhile, Golden State, as far as the lines are concerned, they're healthy. Everybody's playing. No injuries reported at the moment. Now, scoring-wise, Golden State is 15-11 to the under on their home court. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean Golden State, laying the double digits against the Spurs in the under 233 in that matchup there. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball. We're going to begin with Maryland at Nebraska. That's going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off at